Welcome to houseimprovements.com. I'm Shannon and I'm going to show a video today on showing you how to install this fiberglass shower. So this is a one-piece fiberglass shower, kind of made for renovations. It fits through most standard doorways and that. I believe it's 32 by 30 inches, the outside measurements. This one in particular is a max shower. Real good product, reinforced bottom and everything. And this one even comes with the some of the door hardware already pre-installed, and the door was included in the package price. So so you can see it's just white. It's already got the hole. They always will. They'll have the hole drilled in the bottom for the drain. This one has some shelves and whatever. Anyways, enough about that. One thing that doesn't come with pretty much all shower packages is the drain itself. So you're going to need to purchase the right drain for the shower as you need it. They'll just about always be set up for 2-inch drain pipe, so that'll be the pipe that's coming out of the floor, and it'll get glued in. They pretty much always thread apart like this for installation. So this piece would go down through the hole in the shower, and it would thread into this piece, which is glued down at the floor. There's a couple seals as well. Or one's really just the seal. There's a cardboard piece and a rubber seal. The cardboard sits on that piece of ABS that's at the floor, and then the rubber sits on top of it. The shower sits in place, and then this threads down into all of them, and you tighten it up. Okay, so to start out with, we are going to go over to where the plumbing is roughed out of the floor and start explaining how to figure this out. Okay, so you can see we've got right here the 2-inch pipe, ABS pipe, roughed in, sticking up out of the floor. It was installed with a ring here in the concrete so that you have a little bit of working room around it. It's not concreted right up tight to it. You need a bit of room so that when this all goes down in there, you have the room for this space around it. What we need to do is, obviously this is way too long. But we need to determine, with the shower sitting right in place, what the height of this pipe needs to be. I've already roughly determined that it's going to be maybe ½ an inch below the concrete surface. So what I'm going to do is actually cut this pipe down, just to make it easier to get the shower on here for right now. I'm going to cut it down to maybe 1 inch above the surface of the floor, so that way I can wiggle the shower stall back here into place and lower it down over that pipe, and get an actual, then what I'll do is level the shower all up, get an actual marking on the pipe, and then I can figure out from there how much further down I have to cut it off. So anyways, I'm going to just take my recip saw, cut this pipe off somewhere in this range, just so it's easier to get the shower stall over it for now. Okay, so we've got that cut off to roughly the height we need. Well, very roughly. And this is just going to allow me to get the shower pushed back in here and lower it over it so that we can determine how much further we have to cut it off. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to get the shower moved over there. Okay, so we just have wiggled it into place here. You can see the pipe just lowering down around the pipe there. And you can see how that pipe is a little offset right now. By leaving that ring in the floor and the concrete not being tight to it, that allows us to be able to move that around a little bit too, so that if everything isn't quite lining up, we can make it line up. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I've actually got to make this plumb so it's not leaning or anything. And by doing that, or to do that, I just shim the back legs up. Once I have that determined, I can mark that pipe, and from there I can figure out where we're going. I'm just going to grab a level. Okay, so the bottom's actually pushed in a little too far to start with. So I'm just seeing what we are looking like here, placing the level against the straight flat front of this stall. It's actually sitting quite nicely there. So I'm just going to go around the back side. There's some little feet on the bottom on the back corners, and I'm just going to shim up to those so that they're tight down to the floor. On the front edge here you can see the fiberglass is sitting right on the floor, so that side's fine. So I'm just going to zip around the back. And I'm just using some wood shingles that are cut into a shim. And I'm sliding them right underneath. I don't know if you can see with the framing in the way. Sliding them right under the feet here. Just fiddling around till I get the right combination. There's one. Okay, so I've got that just shimmed up to take the weight. Now I can mark that pipe so that we can cut it off at the correct height. So what I'm going to do, that black pipe there, I just want to put a mark on it equal to the top of the shower base here, the shower pan. Right there. And from there I can figure out, using the shower drain, what I need to deduct. So the mark that we put on there would be right, that would actually be the bottom edge of this lip, because that part sits on the shower, okay, which is where we marked. So what we're going to do is tip the shower out of the way, screw this drain in so that everything's basically tightened up to where it needs to be, and then I can stick my tape inside here and actually measure this distance and figure out what I need to cut it off at. It's probably sounding more complicated than it is, but once I have this in the shower, I can stick the tape in. I'm hooking it right out here on which would be the inside of the shower. I can get a measurement to the bottom here, which right now is 2.5 inches. Okay, but that's to the bottom of here. When our pipe goes in, you can see there's a bit of a lip there, and it actually has to go back inside by 3/4 of an inch. So we're at 1.5 inches minus 3/4. So what that's telling me is we'd have to be 3/4 of an inch from where that line is down to cut the pipe off so that it lines up with this. Okay, so anyways, I've got to tip it out of the way to do all that. It's a bit of a process, but if you get that pipe too short, then you're kind of hooped. If you get it too long, you could damage the shower base by trying to force it in there. So we need to make sure that this is correct. So I'm just going to cut for a minute and get this into place, and then we'll come back and show you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got the shower leaning forward so that we can kind of work under here. We've stuck the drain into the drain assembly actually into the shower, as you can see down here. Now, as I was saying before, what you want to do is I've hooked my tape on the inside and I'm measuring right to this bottom edge here. And I've got 2.5 inches, okay? So 2.5 to there. But now, the pipe itself, this pipe down here, needs to protrude up into here about 3/4 of an inch. I believe it's 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. So if we take the 2.5 minus 3/4, that leaves us 1 3/4. So what's that is telling me is that mark that I put on the pipe before, I can measure down 1 3/4 from that mark and cut this pipe off as straight as I can. Then that way when this piece goes on and is glued on, everything should work out to the right height. We don't have a lot of margin for error here, so this is pretty critical. When you're doing it, you want to make sure that you've thought it out and you're making sure you've got it done right. Even I do 4 or 5 of these a year and I'm still having to think about it every time just to be sure I'm doing it right. So something else to mention, you can see here now that things are leaned up, you can see where my shims are sitting on the floor. They were shimmed underneath these feet that the manufacturer put on here. They're just simply some scraps of wood. And this manufacturer also has a solid wood bottom that's all fiberglassed right into the mold, so it's very sturdy. Some showers you've got to put down a sand base or even a mortar base so that when you lean the shower in, that mortar is taking up the space between the concrete floor or wood floor, whatever you got, and the bottom of the shower, just so the shower floor doesn't have any give in it. This shower's sturdy enough, you don't need to do that other than shimming the feet up. So I'm going to see if I can get this measured and cut off with the shower the way it is. I may have to pull the shower right out of the space so that I have room to work. So I'm looking at 1 3/4 down from the mark we put on here. So down to there, go around to this side, see if I can. I think I am going to have to pull the shower right out of the way. It's just going to be too awkward the way this is, and to try to get a shot for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull the shower right out of the way, and then we'll come back and show you how I'm going to cut this off. Okay, so I've switched to a different cutting tool because this line is below the floor. It's pretty tough to get down there and cut it straight. This little wheel in my drill will cut it. Sometimes you can use almost like a grinder disc on here as well. I'm going to try to do it with this one. I don't have any of the discs today, so you can see I've marked that line all the way around there. So I'm just going a little at a time with this thing. So you can see I'm just working my way around the whole thing here, working my way through that line. Okay, so we got that off. It cut fairly good. The abrasive blades cut better than that thing, but I just didn't have any with me today. And you can see we've got kind of that melted edge all the way around there. So I'm just going to make sure I pick that off so nothing impedes the flow of the drain, and so the other piece fits on here. Okay, so I'm going to get out of the way. now I'm going to do a dry fit. So I'm going to take that piece off the bottom of the shower and just stick it down on there. Put the shower in place and make sure everything lines up, and if that's good, then I can pull the shower out again, glue it all in. You can see in this case we've got no drywall up. This is all new framing. You can really see that, you know, having drywall even on 2 of these walls would really make this even tougher to do. You know, you probably want some good access to get in here to do this. So I'm just going to undo the shower drain off the shower, and then we can dry fit it. So you can see I've put the just dry fit the bottom flange onto that pipe, and I've laid the seals on top of it. Now I'm just going to slide the shower back there into place again. With some difficulty. And I'm just setting on there. Okay, so you can see we've got this all sitting back into place. Here's our flange down in there. What I'm looking for is that we have very little space between the bottom of the shower and these gaskets, and we don't. We maybe have a 1/16 of an inch, so that's pretty much ideal. So now I can tilt the shower back out of the way, glue that flange in place, then we can actually get this shower sitting in place for the last time and fasten it where it needs to sit. Oh man, these are tight when they're on there. I want to get fiberglass in my eyes. Oh man, that's tight. Just trying to get the fitting back off of there. There it comes. Okay. Whew. So we got that off of there. Just wiping off any dust or anything that was inside that ring. We're using ABS solvent cement. And like any ABS, like I said, clean that off a bit. We want to apply some glue inside of that lip here. Put a decent amount in there. Run your brush around. Now we can slip that right onto that pipe. It goes on really easy with the glue on there to lubricate it up a bit. Give it a bit of a twist. And we've got that sitting where we want it. Now, these rings are just going to sit back on there again. Again, they've got the cardboard and the rubber ring. Just set it basically on there. I'm going to lower the shower back into place, and then I should be able to screw the drain flange in. So we've put the shower back in here. It looks like we're sitting down nice on our drain there, so that's going to be all right to screw in. But before we do, we're just going to double check that everything's sitting here plumb, in case we have to adjust our shims any. It's looking pretty good right there, so we should be all right. I'm just going to screw that drain down in there. Okay, that's all looking like we're going to be all right. So I'm just going to, again, I'm going to pull this out, put a little bead of silicone around it, and put it back in, and it's there to stay. We'll tighten it right up then. So we're just going to clean off any dust around that little flange there, and off of this indentation in the shower base as well. I'm going to put a bead of silicone Just around there. This isn't really necessary, it's just something I do. Some people might not agree with it, but okay, we'll get it started in here again. So we'll just thread that in tight, and then we can fasten the shower itself to the framing. So I'm just using the head of my water pump pliers to basically wedge in here so that I can turn this. I don't want to turn it so tight that I break anything, but I just need to make sure I'm tight. And that's not really very easy to get your fingers on. There's probably a tool to do this, but this is my tool to do this. There. So that's that. And we've got the drain in. Now the only other thing we'd have to put on is the stainless steel cover goes on there. We'll do that after. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a drill and a couple things, and then we're going to show you how to fasten this in. So now we've got the drain in, we've got the shower sitting plumb, level, everything. Now what we need to do is there's this screwing flange around here, and if you refer to your instructions, most showers are the same, but just double check what they recommend. But most of them want this flange screwed into some wood. There are hardly ever any screws already or holes already in there, so I just drill my own holes and put a screw every couple feet. So this will drill the hole plus put a countersink in. So just like that. Then I'm going to use a number 8 deck screw, coarse threaded screw, and just like that. And I'd go around every couple feet, up the front edges, and into every place where there's a stud, do the same thing. Okay, until you have it all fastened in there, all the way around. And what else can I tell you? Basically right now this one's ready to do the shower valve. That'll be a separate video. We're going to put a shower valve in here for that. And oh, I guess something else to consider. I didn't finish any framing above the shower area here till we had it in place, just so it wouldn't be in the way. So now at this point I can frame the ceiling area and enclose this however the customer wants it done. So I'll be doing that at a later date. Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions on this, you can go to the forum on our website at house-improvements.com and just click the forum tab and it'll send you right through. If you have questions on anything related to DIY, post it up there and I'll try to answer it, or somebody else will get to it hopefully. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. So that's how you install a fiberglass shower stall.